New commitment for Notre Dame in the class of 2026, and it's a big-time running back picking the Fighting Irish directly over Michigan. We're going to talk about it in this video. Before we do, folks, please hit the thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to the Blue and Gold YouTube channel and go to blueandgold.com for much more on the news of Javian Osborne pledging to the Fighting Irish. He spoke with me recently about his decision. So again, go to blueandgold.com, check it out. Osborne, the nation's number 106 overall player, number 8 running back, according to the On3 industry ranking, a long offer list that included the likes of Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon, Alabama, USC, Georgia, Michigan, Texas, and many others. A big time get, Kyle. And let's take a look at the film. Highly productive as a junior, and on film looks awesome.
Yeah, you saw the stats flash on the screen there before his highlights got started. 156 carries, over 1,000 yards, 1,085 yards to be exact, 21 touchdowns in about 10 games as a junior playing in Texas high school football, 7 yards per carry. And these numbers come in Texas 6A ball, which is pretty much the highest classification down there in the Lone Star State. So I'm not sure how much better competition you're going to find nationwide than in Texas 6A ball. And for Javian Osborne to be putting up 1,000 rushing yards in about 10 games is pretty remarkable. And you see the way this guy runs on film, low center of gravity. He's a little bit of a smaller guy, about 5'9", but a really talented back. You saw the national recruiting circuit really valued his ranking, his profile when they invited him as just a high school junior to play in the Under Armour All-America game in Orlando in December. Predominantly those games in the past have been, for a lot of high school seniors. And now there's a little bit of a shift there. Some juniors are getting invited to participate, but you really have to be the elite of the elite to play in that game. Javian Osborne is one of those players. And how about this, Mike? First recruiting win for J1 Sider, Javian Osborne getting in the fold. And as you can see, man, anytime he gets the ball, this is a guy that can take it the distance, and type of talent already added to a pretty remarkable Notre Dame running back room. And based on the guys on the depth chart, this is a type of player that could potentially come in right away and make an impact for Notre Dame.
Kyle, I have to rewind here. I think I nailed it on this play. Like this, that jump cut right there is nuts. Like making that kind of juke in the hole is difficult, and he really is a tremendous looking talent. Notre Dame is just, I mean, this was a top target of theirs. I mean, he was a pot of gold offer for last year. So Dylan McCullough really wanted Osborne, wasn't able to get him up on campus, and then we'll dive into the recruitment in a second. But yeah, just him on film, he wears the number 26, and it's not the most popular running back number, but who does wear it is Saquon Barkley, and he like Saquon's not the tallest guy. I'm sure Kyle the crack staff can look up Barkley's measurables real quick, but like the tree trunks for the thighs, like Osborne, I got to see in April, and I mean he 100% like has that build, physical, can make you miss in a phone booth, can have that breakaway speed to take it to the house, like blocking, pass catching. Like he's a very well-rounded back. Like he fits the mold that we've seen with Notre Dame's running backs over the years that have to be all-purpose. They have to be able to do everything. Javian Osborne definitely fits that, Kyle. So did you look up Barkley's measurables?
At the NFL Combine, which those are the stats I usually tend to go by because they're verified. That's when independent measuring personnel take these numbers. And Saquon Barkley was 6 foot flat, 233 pounds.
Oh, 6 foot. Okay.
Yeah.
So Barkley's a lot taller than I thought.
Taller
Osborne
than
about
I thought
5.
as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So Osborne 5'9", 195 pounds, but I don't know, just like Osborne kind of gives me like a thicker Kyron Williams, like that bowling ball hole, like a Blake Corum,
AKA,
Kyron Williams.
yeah, I was gonna say, ironically enough, Blake Corum, who Notre Dame beat out Corum's former program, the Michigan
Right.
Wolverines, for this commitment.
Right. Yeah. And like Nolan James, we kind of had similar comparisons, but Nolan was more Kyron than he was Blake Corum. It's just like this all-purpose kind of back that has that smaller build, but still very like built well. That's Javian Osborne. Kyle, looking at his recruitment, this was a battle between Notre Dame and Michigan. That was the top two that he announced. What was that, like May or like late March or something? And then he visited. Well, let me pull up his visit list here for everyone to see. Notre Dame March 18th, Michigan 10 days later, and then gets back to South Bend April 12th. And I want to say it's not on his profile. The Michigan guys didn't add it, but he visited Michigan April 19th. And then, of course, announcing his pledge here on May 3rd. So this Michigan official visit that you see, it's not going to happen anymore. He's just going to take one to Notre Dame, picking the Fighting Irish over the Wolverines, just continuing to beat up on Michigan in the 2026 class. It has not even been a contest so far. We'll see if the Wolverines are able to turn things around and maybe get into the top 25 of the national rankings, while Notre Dame is aiming for a top 5 class. But Osborne, you know, he went a year without visiting Notre Dame while he was armed with an offer from the Fighting Irish, finally gets to campus and just clicked. I talked about this on a show recently. He's like a new age. I think it was the last week, Kyle, for our show, not yesterday, the week before. It's like a new age Notre Dame target, like a Jadon Blair, where it's like you have all these, programs that are traditional, like, hey, like we're going to come after you with the NIL and football factories that maybe years before Notre Dame wasn't landing many of those guys. They are now, when Notre Dame has just got more swagger to it now. It really just does, with Marcus Freeman going to the national title game. It just has a little bit more, and Javian Osborne was a good reflection of that. It just clicked with him. So, Kyle, you can spend a minute on this recruitment. You covered it even more closely than I did.
Yeah, I've said on this platform many times before that Javian Osborne was always a recruit that, if he could make it to Notre Dame on a visit, I felt like the Irish could gain momentum pretty quickly. I became skeptical as this recruitment really prolonged, and I wasn't really sure what the outcome would be after he visited campus for the first time in March. But his trajectory, the recruitment, proved my initial hypothesis correct, because
Yeah.
Notre Dame pretty much grabbed on to all the momentum from there. They were the leader from there on out. Osborne very comfortable at Notre Dame, very comfortable with the guys that are already there. Loves Jaywan Sire, the running backs coach. Loves Notre Dame's NIL package and earning opportunities there. And I also mentioned this, Mike, on our recruiting show on Friday, that Javian Osborne is one of those recruits that has a profile that is going to carry a lot of cachet now for Notre Dame in the 2026 class. He's got a magnetic personality. He has relationships with a lot of top targets in Notre Dame's 26 class. Look for him to go after guys like Joey O'Brien, who's an elite recruit from Pennsylvania, but Osborne knows. Couple of guys in his backyard, some wide receivers like Braden Robinson, who he has a relationship with, and Caden Finley. So although this is a great on-the-field pickup for Notre Dame, I think it's going to produce some pretty big-time dividends off the field as well.
Folks, please hit the thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to the Blue and Gold YouTube channel if you're new here. And go to blueandgold.com for all of the coverage of Osborne's commitment to the Fighting Irish. Hit that thumbs up. And as always, we will catch you next time.